In this world, guides don't fight. She does. Her spirit is a kraken, born for the deep, built for war. He's an S-class sentinel. His spirit is an orca. This is not Finding Nemo. Subscribe for daily updates. In Caleb's mind, Claire saw the seabed, and beneath it, a garden hidden deep in the dark. Soft seagrass swayed slowly. Coral bloomed in quiet colors. Schools of small fish wove between them. Shells and spiral conchs rested in the sand. This was a sentinel's mind. Not barren, not violent, but rich, alive, beautiful in a way that pulled people closer. A clear whale call echoed through the kelp forest. From the shadows, something enormous moved. A massive body surfaced, black along the back, pure white beneath, a powerful tail, a tall, blade-like dorsal fin, white markings beneath cold, watching eyes. An orca, the apex predator of the deep. This was his spirit. Claire realized then. He had never tried to stop her. He had let her enter freely, all the way to the edge of his mental world. He had chosen this place to fight her. He's insane, she thought. Strong, reckless, the kind who lived with death always within reach. And to her own surprise, she felt excitement. Guides were not supposed to feel that. They were meant to be gentle, calm, restrained. She tried to still her tentacles. The battle began in an instant. The seabed ruptured. Massive tentacles burst from the sand, coiling around the orca's tail. Suckers locked tight against smooth skin, dragging the great body toward the trench below. Then, a powerful hand seized the tentacle. Human, strong, unyielding, the orca's lower body remained bound, but his upper form shifted, becoming human. Claire recognized his face. Caleb Cole, half man, half whale. Floating among exploding bubbles, he faced her without panic. "It will hurt," he warned. In a mental world, pain cuts deeper than reality. For a moment, the scene overlapped with a memory, snow falling. A blade at her throat, danger sharp enough to make blood warm. Pain tore through her arm. Claire gasped, grabbing her wrist. What the tentacle felt, her body felt in full. He hadn't been threatening her. If he severed a tentacle, she would feel it as if her own arm were cut away. The grip loosened. The orca surged free. He charged her. Faster than thought, his tail rose, bringing the weight of the sea down upon her. Even here, underwater, the force was terrifying. In the real world, she would not survive a single exchange. But this was not the real world. Here, bodies were made of will. And here, she was not weak. With every movement, she grew sharper, faster, clearer. Something stirred. Something she had kept restrained for too long. The tentacles grew larger, more numerous. They erupted from unseen depths, coiling with exhilaration. One by one, they wrapped around him, pressed him against rough stone on the ocean floor. Claire hovered above. The orca was bound, hands restrained, pinned beneath the weight of the deep. It looked like victory, but something felt wrong. She knew he had chances, moments where he could have cut free. She had braced herself for pain, but the blade had hesitated. Memory bubbles rose from the seabed, hundreds of them, drifting open, waiting. She saw monsters, blood-soaked soldiers, bodies stacked among ruins. She looked back at him, through layers of tentacles. Caleb met her gaze, grey-black eyes, steady, accepting, waiting. This had all been deliberate. A plan, a gamble, and he had wagered his own life. "You're ruthless," she thought. even to yourself. High above, on the execution grounds, the crowd swelled. Claire opened her eyes. She extended her free hand and placed it against the brain cylinder system, the machine that replayed the memories of the dead. Her wrist terminal connected instantly. A moment passed. The screen flickered. Glitches, warped frames, fragments of color. Then the image steadied. It was still the contaminated zone, but the angle was wrong. This was memory. Caleb's memory. A black road crawled with snails. Giant spores hung in the air like swollen lanterns. A small squad rested around a campfire. Firelight painted their faces, some barely older than boys, some already carved hollow by years. Even while eating, their bodies never truly relaxed. One hand held food. The other stayed low, near the weapon line, ready to draw without thinking. This wasn't a squad that hoped to survive. This was a squad trained to. Near the fire, a small commotion broke out. One young sentinel turned bright red, caught in a headlock by a laughing teammate. "This idiot," the older one announced, "says he's proposing when we get back." Laughter burst out. "Since when do you have a girl?" Someone scoffed. "A good girl would choose us? Don't tell me you got scammed." The mood lifted briefly. A tiny patch of warmth in a dead world. Caleb stood and walked over. "Captain," they greeted, voices instinctively straighter. Their eyes carried it. Trust, respect, relief. Only one man didn't fit. A researcher with glasses. Expensive civilian clothes. A black backpack clutched to his chest like a lifeline. Sitting alone by the flames, distracted, restless. Caleb's gaze paused on him, just a beat, then moved on. He faced the group. "At first light, we leave this zone. Mission ends." Every smile vanished. Shoulders tightened. Hands drifted closer to weapons. Caleb looked at the youngest soldier, the one still red in the cheeks. He pressed a hand to the boy's shoulder. "Ignore their noise," he said quietly. "If a girl truly wants to marry you, treat her well. Where you come from doesn't matter." The boy's face burned hotter, but his eyes turned bright, like someone suddenly allowed to hope. The screen stuttered again. Static spilled across the footage. Then the next memory snapped in. Same ruins. Caleb stood high on broken concrete, watching the horizon. Ahead was nothing but darkness, a black ocean without waves. From it came a sound, as if something was moving together in numbers. A woman with a high ponytail frowned hard. "How is this possible?" she muttered. "Why are there so many mutations?" "No time," Caleb said. "Give me the lure. I'll draw them away. You take the other route. We meet at the gate." In crisis, he didn't negotiate. He commanded. He turned, uncapped the lure, and poured it over himself, from head to toe. Then he gripped his blade and ran straight into the dark, toward the approaching swarm. He turned himself into a living target, a moving beacon of scent and noise, dragging every monster after him. The footage became chaotic. The camera spun. Broken flashes of fighting, roaring shapes, mutated bodies flooding the streets. Caleb alone, fighting under a sky filled with monsters. And beside him, a massive orca cut through the gloom. Man and beast, bloodied, relentless, forcing a path through an impossible ring, breaking out. The screen went dark, then bright again. The battle was over. Caleb walked through streets of drifting spores. At first, there was only silence, then bodies. One, then more. Soldiers mixed with carcasses, human remains tangled with twisted monster flesh. He stopped in front of a sentinel still breathing. The man was beyond saving. Caleb didn't move for a long time. The last soldier they found had died standing, His body had swollen into something unnatural, not human anymore. A shape like a statue made of wrong parts. Caleb stood in the shadow of a tower and looked up. He went feral, someone whispered. Overused his power. Past the limit. The memory cut again. Now, the border of the zone. Only a few hundred meters from the gate. The researcher stood there, drenched in sweat, still clutching the black backpack. He smiled. "I'll talk, just don't shoot," he babbled, wiping his forehead. He cracked open the bag just enough to show the contents. "Do you know what this is?" "An energy crystal." He glanced around even though they were alone, lowering his voice like the air itself could steal from him. "Rare, worth a fortune. They sent me in to retrieve it, direct orders from above." Caleb's voice was calm. "So that's why. I wondered why you needed an entire post of sentinels protecting one man." He leaned in, eyes bright with greed. "Once we get this out, we'll have everything. Money, rank. You want a guide? That's not impossible either." The screen filled with the researcher's face. Smug, hungry, shining with triumph. His pocket change had been hoped to the men who died for him. Caleb asked softly, "Why didn't you tell them?" The researcher shrugged. "It's private work. Goes into important pockets. You can't announce that publicly." Then a gunshot. The researcher screamed, dropping to the ground, hands clamped over a bleeding knee. Caleb's gun barrel shifted, up, centered on the man's chest. No. The researcher's voice cracked. "You can't do this, don't shoot. I was forced, I can't disobey." The next sound was broken and short. Back in the yard, people reacted fast. Shouts rose like fire. "He was framed, release him. You tortured the wrong man. Let him go now." Anger poured into the street. A wave of voices surging toward the administrative building. Soon the broadcast system clicked on. A nervous official voice trembled through the speakers. We were misled. Yes, he is innocent. We will release Caleb immediately. Please remain calm." When the chaos finally settled, Claire's paperwork, her recruitment, her travel clearance, was stamped through at last. She stepped outside into late afternoon. The city was stained orange by the dying sun. Roy stood beside her at the gate, waiting for the public bus, still looking like he hadn't fully returned to his body. "Claire," he said slowly, "something feels off." He glanced at her. "Did you help him on purpose?" "No," she answered, calm as ever. It was the truth. She looked the same as always, quiet, uninterested, distant, but her gaze drifted to a narrow alley by the side door. A small door opened. 2 men dragged out a wounded sentinel and left him against a dark wall. Then the door shut again. The sentinel wore a soldier's coat like an afterthought. He leaned there for a moment, trying to stay upright, then slid down the wall, sitting half in shadow, half in fading light. Roy squinted. "It's him, Caleb." He swallowed. "He doesn't look like anyone's coming for him." Roy hesitated. "Should we help? Just a little?" Claire didn't answer. She only watched the alley, the man sitting there, head lowered, face hidden by darkness.